It was a crisp Friday morning, the kind where the air smells like fresh dew and the world feels like it's holding its breath. I was sipping coffee in my kitchen at Oakwood Commons, our fancy gated condo complex, when the sirens ripped through the silence like a chainsaw. Red and blue lights danced across the white walls of our building as 3 fire trucks barreled down Cedar Lane, horns blaring, heading straight for our emergency gate. I leaned toward the window, expecting the usual drill, but what I saw next made my jaw drop. A sleek black Mercedes was parked smack in the middle of the fire lane, and standing beside it, arms crossed like she was guarding a treasure chest, was Lisa Hammondauer, HOA president and the neighborhood's self-proclaimed queen. Lisa, in her tailored blazer and oversized sunglasses, was yelling at a firefighter, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. "I paid for this spot," she shrieked, while VYing a folder like it was the Constitution. "You can't make me move. I have proof." The fire truck idled, its driver looking baffled as Lisa stood her ground, obliquely VY us to the chaos she was causing. I'm Mike, by the way, a software engineer who moved here 6 months ago, thinking I'd found a peaceful suburban haven. Oakwood had it all: manicured lawns, a sparkling pool, and rules that promised order. But Lisa? She was the storm I didn't see coming. Lisa had been running our HOA like her personal empire for 3 years. She patrolled the complex in that Mercedes, her eyes scanning for any VY Oleciona trash can out too early, a flower pot an inch too wide. Fines flew like confetti. A mailbox flag, slightly crooked, $50. A kid's bike left on the sidewalk, warning letter. But her obsession was the parking spot right in front of our building's only emergency exit. She claimed she'd paid Dula $20,000 extra for it when she bought her condo, flashing her documents at anyone who dare question her. The problem? That spot was a fire lane, marked with peeling yellow paint and a sign screaming, "Emergency vehicles only." For months, neighbors grumbled, but Lisa ran HOA meetings like a dictator, shutting down complaints with her mantra, "I paid for this spot." End of story. She'd gotten warnings from building management, and I'd called the fire department myself a couple of times. Each time, Lisa would move her car just long enough for the officials to leave, then slide it right back. She even started parking a gaudy planter next to her car, making the already narrow exit practically impassable. Her arrogance was next level, like she believed her HOA crown made her untouchable. Then came the announcement, a mandatory fire drill set for Friday at 10 a.m., with the fire department inspecting our safety protocols. I thought, finally, she'll have to move. Boy, was I wrong. The morning of the drill started calm. I was checking emails, coffee in hand, when the alarms blared at exactly 10 a.m. Residents poured out, following the plan, but within minutes, shouts echoed from the emergency gate. I grabbed my phone and jogged outside, joining a crowd of neighbors. Lisa stood by her Mercedes, facing off with a fire marshal who looked like he was losing patience. "Ma'am, move your vehicle, saw," he said, voice firm but calm. "This is an active drill, and you're blocking our route." Lisa didn't flinch. "I paid for this spot," she snapped, thrusting her folder forward. "This is my property, and your little drill doesn't change that." The crowd growled Mr. Jenkins with his cane, Mrs. Patel with her walker, kids clutching their parents' hands. These were people who needed that exit in a real emergency, and Lisa was acting like it was her personal parking garage. She pulled out her phone, filming the marshal. "This is harassment," she bellowed. "I'm documenting this for my lawyer, the mayor, the governor." The marshal stepped back, muttering into his radio. Minutes later, 2 police cruisers rolled up. A sergeant with graying hair approached, calm as a Sunday morning. "Ma'am, we need this area cleared for safety. Can you move your car?" he asked. Lisa exploded. "Absolutely not. I have legal proof I own this spot. You're all trying to steal what's mine." She waved her folder like a weapon, her face red under her perfect makeup. The sergeant glanced at her papers, then shook his head. "Ma'am, this is a fire lane. That overrides any parking deal." Lisa doubled down. "I don't care about your fire lane. I paid Dula $20,000 for this, and no one's taking it." The tension was electric, the crowd silent, watching the showdown like it was a movie. Then, A crackle from the marshal's radio changed everything. Smoke detected in the east wing, the voice said. Electrical panel malfunction. The drill was now a real emergency, and Lisa's car was blocking the firefighters' fastest route. The sergeant's face hardened. Ma'am, last warning. Move your car, or you're under arrest for obstructing emergency services. Lisa laughed a cold, defiant laugh. Arrest on me, saw. I'm the HOA president. I'll have your badge. She stepped closer, jabbing a finger at him. That was her fatal mistake. In a flash, the sergeant nodded to his partner. Ma'am, you're under arrest, he said, cuffs clicking around her wrists. Lisa's sunglasses slipped as she gasped, her folder tumbling to the pavement. This is outrageous, she screamed as they led her to the cruiser. I paid for that spot. You'll all pay for this. The crowd parted, some whispering, others filming. Her perfect hair was a mess, her documents scattered like confetti. A tow truck hauled her Mercedes away, and the firefighters rushed to fix the electrical issue. The crisis passed, but Lisa's drama was just starting. Her arrest went viral. Hashtag the HO Lisa busted. Videos of her screaming about her rights and getting cuffed racked up millions of views. The HOA board held an emergency meeting, and without Lisa's iron grip, they voted her out as president. Then they dug into her precious documents. Turns out, her lot 20,000 parking spot, it was in the regular lot, not the fire lane. She'd doctored papers, adding fake clauses and mismatched fonts to claim the emergency exit. For 3 years, she'd committed fraud, endangering everyone for her ego. The court case was a spectacle. Security footage showed her blocking the exit despite warnings. Neighbors testified about her tyranny. The fake documents were the nail in her coffin. The judge didn't hold back. 6 months in jail, 2 years probation, Dula $15,000 in fines and legal costs. Lisa's face went pale as the gavel fell, her hands shaking. The woman who'd fined us for petty nonsense was now a convicted criminal, her name forever tied to her infamy online. She vanished after the trial, and Oakwood Commons breathed a sigh of relief. No more Mercedes, no more Planter, no more Lisa. But here's where it gets juicy. Was Lisa just a delusional control freak? Or did the system let her get away with it for too long? Should the HOA have acted sooner? Could neighbors have pushed harder? And what about those who filmed her arrest heroes exposing her? Or vultures chasing clout? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you're team justice, and subscribe for more wild stories. Who's the real VY lane here, Lisa, the HOA, or something else? Let's hear it.